What's up everyone, Emerald here from Emerald's Daily Carry, and today we've got a deep dive into the Minimul M38 travel backpack and all of the optional accessories that you can purchase with this bag. In this video, we're going to be covering everything that you need to know about this bag. We'll break down the specs, the materials, the features, we'll score it using our analytical rubric, and stick around until the end if you want to know the final score and who we think this bag is for. For full disclosure, Minimal did send this bag out to me and all the accessories for free in exchange for a review. No money exchanged hands, all opinions are 100% my own, and they did not have any input in this video before it was uploaded. Personally, I was really curious about this bag from a new bag maker in the game, and I thought that this might actually be a really good bag for my use case since I love to travel with one bag and sometimes I need to bring my laptop setup with me to do some editing on the go. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel, we like to talk about backpacks, sling bags, and everything in between because we believe that everything in life is between you and the perfect bag. Our goal is to give you all the details, so this is the last review that you're gonna have to watch to see if it's right for you. There are chapter markers all along the video so that you can skip ahead or skip to the section that you care about most. But before we continue, you know the drill. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you slap that notification bell so that you don't miss any more Emerald's Daily Carry goodness. And without further ado, you better buckle up because this one's gonna be a long one. Before we dive into the details, let's talk a little bit about Minimul. Minimul is a relatively new player in the bag world, but they're making some really bold moves. Currently, the M38 travel backpack is only available in one color, classic black, with an expected retail price of $339. At the moment, you can only purchase it directly from their website. This bag is advertised to be perfect for 3 to 5 days worth of travel gear while also accommodating your full office setup. We'll take a closer look at how well it delivers on that promise in the pack out section of this video, so stay tuned for that. Now let's dive into the listed specs of the bag and compare them to our own measurements here in the studio. We'll also run our infamous bean test to measure the actual volume of the bag, and if you're not familiar with this bean test, check out this video right here for a full breakdown of how it works. First off, big shout out to Minimul for listing the volume per section of the bag. That's a level of detail that we don't typically see from other brands, and we definitely appreciate their transparency on this. Here are the listed specs. The weight with the hip belt is 3.96 pounds or 1.79 kilograms, adding an additional 0.38 pounds to the entire weight. The listed dimensions of the bag are 21 by 13 by 7.5 inches, and that's gonna be when it's fully unloaded. And the listed volume is 38 liters. The main compartment volume is 30 to 32 liters, the tech compartment is 4 liters, and the front quick access pocket is 2 to 3 liters. The volume of these 3 sections are listed independently, but keep in mind that the interior walls share space. That's likely where the discrepancies come in. All right, now let's take a look at our studio measurements. So for the actual weight, I'm gonna use a real scale, and we're just about at 3.4 pounds without the hip belt. I'm gonna put the hip belt inside of the compartment and then weigh it again. We're reading about 4.2 pounds with the hip belt. Now moving on to our external dimensions, fully packed out. So we're at about 20.5 inches in length, maybe 14.5 inches wide. And this sucker can get pretty deep. We're probably around 11.5 inches deep when fully packed out. And now here comes our bean test. We're gonna fill this bag with beans in all the different compartments, and then we're gonna see how it compares to the actual listed volume. All right, so that's 4 liters here in the top quick access compartment. We can definitely fit even more than that, but I'm just gonna keep it at 4, fill the main compartment, and then kind of fill this out after that. This interior pocket has its own separate volume from the main compartment, so I'm gonna put my beans in here first. All right, so that's 3 liters of beans, so we're at 7 right now. And now for this main compartment. So it's not gonna really stand up on its own right now, so just bear with me. All right, that's 30. Okay, there's a little bit more space here on the top. So let me see if I can get all the way up. We're at 31 right now. Let's do the tech compartment. And because of this style of opening, I'm just gonna do it like this and see how much bean's gonna actually fit inside of here. Get in there, you beans. I think maybe 1 more liter. All right, and we did it, 35 liters of beans. But as you can see, the bag doesn't really hold this weight well. If you count all the air, it's probably 35 liters of beans plus 4 liters of air. I'm gonna put this on its side. Oh my God. Okay, and now I'm gonna measure that. So what is that here? Oh yeah, we're definitely at 12 inches in depth if we're counting the full depth with the shoulder straps and everything. So yeah, if you can pack the crap out of this bag, just know that if you do, you might be outside of carry-on allowance. As for the dimensions, I don't think that the listed depth takes the harness system into account or expects you to pack this bag out quite as much as I have in this test. When I packed it out moderately, I think I was already hitting 9 inches in depth, so keep that in mind depending on your own packing style. Later in the pack out section of this video, I'll show you exactly what I put in this bag so that you can see how overstuffed it really is and decide if it's something that you're comfortable with. Okay, so it's gonna take me quite a while to get all these beans out of this bag, but after that, we're gonna do a size test on me and somebody else, and after that, we're gonna do our material, so stay tuned. And for sizing, this is what the bag looks like on me. For reference, I'm 5'7" and 135 pounds. My torso length is 17.5 inches. And this is what the bag looks like on a larger man. He is 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, and his torso length is 22 inches. For the materials, I reached out to the founder, Sung, to get a bit more insight into how this bag was constructed. He provided some really helpful details that I'll be sharing with you here. Starting with the exterior fabric, the bag is made out of an 840D Cordura ballistic nylon with a polycarbonate coating. This coating gives the bag a slight level of water resistance, which is always a welcome feature in a travel bag. Moving on to the zippers, Minimal uses a number 10 YKK lockable zippers throughout the bag, which is great to see. For the laptop compartment, they've also added an AquaGuard zipper for extra water resistance. You'll also find keyring zippers, which are really nice touch. They're super easy to grab and you can just whip through these zippers with no problem. As for the plastic hardware, everything is Woojin plastic, including the web keepers and the sternum strap and other hardware throughout the bag. This is a solid choice since Woojin is known for its durability and reliability. Looking at the handles, the top carry handle has magnets for added structure, and it's made of a nylon webbing reinforced with the same ballistic nylon used on the exterior of the bag. The side handle is constructed in the same way, which keeps the look and feel consistent. On the other side of the bag, we have a stretch water bottle pocket made from a power mesh spandex, which should accommodate a range of water bottle sizes. Now let's check out the back panel. Here, Minimal uses a Glim air mesh paired with a bottom layer of EVA foam. The foam is designed with varying densities and thickness to maximize comfort during extended wear. The hip belt, which is a sold separately accessory, features the same dual layer EVA foam used in the back panel and the harness system, with an outer layer of power mesh spandex for added durability. For the luggage pass-through, it's made out of a nylon twill webbing, which feels very similar to a seatbelt-like material. It's very strong and smooth. Opening up the bag, we see a custom 75D by 150D ripstop polyester liner in a bright golden yellow color. This interior color makes it really easy for you to see your gear, which is always a really nice touch. In the quick access pocket, there's a larger structured compartment that uses a combination of foam lining and boards for durability and shape retention. The mesh throughout the bag is Darlington mesh, which feels really sturdy yet lightweight. For the key leash, it's made from a nylon that feels very similar to the fabric ribbons that you'll find on a craft store, paired with a T3 style tension clip. In the tech compartment and the quick access pocket, you'll find foam lining and boards used from some of the similar pockets to give you structure and protect your gear. Speaking of the tech compartment, there's a lot going on here. The materials are the same as the quick access pocket, but with additional boards and foam to create larger structured pockets for your laptop and your keyboard. The laptop sleeve's interior is lined with a silicone leather, which feels really soft to the touch and offers extra protection for your device. You'll also notice the same Darlington mesh and elastic bands above some of the mesh pockets for better organization. Opening up the main compartment, there is a small compression pad with Woojin plastic hardware, elastic bands, and the same mesh used throughout the other areas of the bag. The side pockets in the main compartment also feature zippered mesh construction for added flexibility. As for the stitching, nothing too crazy here, but there is bar tack stitching on high stress points like the shoulder straps, the handles, and the external clips, which is always good to see. Now let's quickly talk about the optional accessories that you can purchase with the M38. These are going to be great if you're looking to expand your minimal setup. There's a hip belt that we already mentioned, but they also offer a tote, a toiletry kit, and a set of packing cubes. The tote is made out of the same custom 75D by 150D ripstop polyester as the interior of the bag. The toiletry kit uses the same external and interior materials as the M38, including the nylon webbing and the plastic hook on the back, YKK number 10 zippers, and an N52 magnet for the magnetic latch. It also has the same elastic and mesh materials as the main bag. The packing cubes come in a small, medium, and large. All cubes feature the keyring loops and number 10 YKK zippers and nylon twill webbing handles for easy carrying. Overall, the materials Minimal uses seem to be of very solid quality, but stick around for the grading section where we'll dive deeper into how those materials actually perform in real-world use. All right, moving on to the features of the bag, let's start off with the front. Here we have a large quick access pocket and very minimal branding located discreetly at the bottom. It's simple and clean, staying true to their aesthetic. When we open up the quick access pocket, we're greeted with some of the nice organizational options. On one side, there's a large padded slip pocket, perfect for storing things like a tablet, a notebook, or other flat items. On the other side, there's two small mesh pockets for keeping your smaller essentials in place, think like cables or chargers, or maybe even a snack. Additionally, you'll find a short key leash and an extra O-ring connection point, which you can use to clip a flashlight or any other small accessory. And one unique feature here is the hidden AirTag pocket. Tucked neatly above the zipper, it's subtle, unobtrusive, and a clever way to add some peace of mind when you're traveling with this bag. The rest of the pocket is fairly open, giving you flexibility to use it as a dump pocket for your daily carry or travel essentials. You can also stash a light jacket in here for quick access, or even use it as an airplane companion pocket for snacks, headphones, and in-flight accessories. I'll talk a little bit more about packing scenarios like this in the next section. Now let's take a look at the sides of the bag. On each side of the bag, there are 4 attachment points, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. These are designed for compression straps, but unfortunately the bag doesn't come with compression straps and they are not sold separately on Minimal's website, so it's a bring your own scenario. If you're not carrying the bag at full capacity, these compression straps would really help shrink the silhouette, especially since this bag is really soft. It has almost no structure, making it really easily compressible. On the right side of the bag, you have a side grab handle. This is super helpful if you want to carry the bag in briefcase mode, like this, or if you need an extra leverage point when you're stowing it in the overhead bin. On the left side of the bag, there's a stretchy water bottle pocket made of power mesh spandex, and this pocket shares space with the main compartment of the interior sided zippered pocket, so packing out one will affect the other. It's a really snug fit, so you shouldn't have any issues with bottles slipping out, but getting a 1 liter Nalgene bottle or similarly wide bottles in and out might take a little bit of effort. This pocket is better suited for slimmer bottles or even a tripod holder, as long as you bring your own compression strap. Moving on to the back panel, we have a magnetic top handle that keeps it out of the way when not in use, giving the bag a more streamlined look. For the harness system, it includes a breathable back panel and shoulder strap system, a sternum strap with Woojin hardware that has a rail system that you can slide up and down to adjust as you need, strap keepers for managing excess webbing, which we love to see, and a sold separately accessory, a detachable hip belt, which attaches via Velcro behind the back panel. There's also a luggage pass-through holder allowing you to secure the bag horizontally on a roller luggage, and 2 hidden pockets located behind the shoulder straps right here. These are going to be great for discreetly storing passports, cash, or other flat items that you want to keep out of sight. Now opening the main compartment, This bag folds out suitcase style for easy access to your belongings. On the flap side, there is an internal zippered compartment designed for the Minimal's Dob kit, which is sold separately. However, you can also use this pocket for any items like dirty clothes or an extra pair of low-profile shoes or anything else that fits. But keep in mind that this pocket has its own dimensions, so if you don't use it, you won't actually utilize the full available space of the bag. On the opposite side, there's a small compression pad with a zippered pocket in the middle. This is perfect for stashing smaller items that you don't want floating around in the main compartment. The compression pad is small enough to stay out of the way if you don't end up using it. You'll also find 2 clip points for adjusting the tension of the compression pad, depending on how much you've packed into the main compartment. On each side of the compartment, there are 2 zippered compartments and 2 slip pockets here at the top. One of these slip pockets is perfectly sized for Minimal's tote, which is sold separately. Next, let's check out the tech compartment, which opens clamshell style using the YKK AquaGuard zippers. On the front panel of the tech compartment, there's an admin pouch area with 13 different pockets for organizing your peripherals and your cords. Some of these pockets are mesh, some of them have elastic, others are just regular slip pockets with varying sizes. The 2 elastic pockets at the bottom have extra slack for bulk your items like charging bricks. You can also use the mesh pocket for an external hard drive or a mouse, while the dedicated keyboard pocket is sized for a travel keyboard. Behind that, there's another slip pocket, which Minimal suggests is for a power bank, but I've also used it for pocketable notebooks or extra cords. There are 3 differently sized pen holders here on the right, so no matter what the size your pen is, there's gonna be a spot for it. And above that, there's a horizontal slip pocket that goes about halfway down the section of the bag, so it fits about my hand. And this is great for bulkier cables or a laptop power brick. On the opposite side, you'll find a laptop sleeve and a tablet sleeve. The laptop sleeve can hold up to a 17-inch laptop, and my 16-inch MacBook Pro fit in just perfectly. And the tablet sleeve here fits devices up to a 13-inch iPad, so my 11-inch iPad Pro slid in there easily with room to spare. Both of these sleeves are suspended on all sides to protect your device from hard falls, a feature that gives me peace of mind, especially for someone who's traveling with a lot of expensive tech. So that wraps up the features of the main bag. Next, let's dive into some of the features of the accessories, starting off with the packing cubes. Packing cubes are designed to utilize all the available space in the main compartment. Only the large cube has a compression zipper. For the packable tote, this folds in on itself, and it's essentially just a cavernous black hole with no internal organization, aside from a small slip pocket on the corner, which I will show you. There's the slip pocket. You can use this as a laundry bag, a grocery bag, or carry around an extra pair of shoes. Moving on to the Dob kit, it has a zippered front pocket for organizing smaller toiletries, a hook system for hanging it in a shower or a towel rack, and a top grab handle. Inside you'll find 4 mesh pockets for travel-sized bottles and elastic bands for things like a toothbrush or a razor. There's a magnetic secret mesh pocket for concealing sensitive items, and a zippered compartment here at the bottom. For the hip belt, it is detachable and well padded, featuring contoured sewing for a comfortable fit. It's easy to attach and remove, and each side has a power mesh for slip pockets for small items like a card or snack wrappers. Now, because we have so many accessories, I thought it might be nice to talk about them in a little bit more detail, so let's move on to the next section to see if any of these add-ons are worth it. So we're here at a new angle just to kind of mix it up. Starting out with our packing cubes, the main selling point here is that they're designed to fit specifically inside of the M38's main compartment. This means that you're not gonna have any wasted space when you use these cubes, which could be a big plus for you if you like to optimize your packing. That said, it could also be a drawback depending on how you pack. If you like a little bit of wiggle room or need to fit other items around the cubes, you might find the fit to be a little too restrictive. For comparison, I've tested these against the Peak Design packing cubes, and with those you'll notice a little extra room along the sides and the top of the bag. That extra flexibility can be useful, but it also means that you're not fully utilizing the dimensions of the bag. Another thing to note is that only the large packing cube in this set comes with a compression zipper. While that's helpful for squeezing down bulkier items, the lack of compression on the other cubes make them less versatile than a fully compressible cube set. On the plus side, all of these cubes have mesh tops, which really improve breathability. That's going to be great for keeping clothes fresher, but it does mean that they're not going to be as compressible as some of the other packing cubes on the market. Next up is the tote bag, which is made from a durable material that's easy to clean, a really big plus if you're gonna use this for groceries or as a laundry bag. However, one issue that I noticed is the lack of reinforced stitching on the seams, right here. And none of the seams are double stitched, which raises some concerns about durability, especially if you plan on overloading the bag with heavier items. But that said, the tote is easily packable using the stuff method, making it really convenient to whip out if you need it. If you're aiming for a fully minimal setup though, you might prefer other collapsible totes that fold down into even smaller than this. There it is. Moving on to the dob kit, this is where things get a little bit more complicated. I understand the intentions behind the design, but I feel like some of the features here are at odds with each other. Let's start off with the hook on the back. This is a fantastic addition if you're staying somewhere like a hostel or a shared space where you can't leave your toiletry bag laying around. Hanging it on a towel rack or a shower rod is going to be a great way to save space and keep your items organized. However, the problem that I have is that when you're using the hook, only half of the bag becomes accessible. The front pocket is essentially unusable, leaving you with just the 4 mesh panels on the back. So as you have it hanging like this, you're not gonna really be able to, utilize that front panel. Another issue is the triangular shape of the pouch. While maximizing internal space, it also creates a problem when your bag is hanging. All of your items can shift around and potentially fall out. As you can see, when I open it, it can just fall out. Most toiletry bags with a hanging design opt for either a bucket style layout or zippered compartments that keep items secure. This bag unfortunately doesn't do either particularly well. The zippered bottom compartment with the L-shaped opening is another weak point. While it offers more organization, items can fall out during transit if they shift the wrong way. On a positive note, the mesh pockets come in a variety of sizes, which is really great for organizing small items, but you're gonna be limited to the predetermined sizes. Similarly, the elastic bands are meant to hold things like a razor or a toothbrush, but they only work on standard sizes. If you carry an electric toothbrush or an electric razor, you're kind of out of luck. Ultimately, the biggest flaw with this dob kit is that it's trying to do both of a hanging bag and a countertop bag. Unfortunately, it doesn't really succeed at either. Personally, I found it more useful as a dump pouch, ignoring the mesh pockets and elastic bands altogether and just throwing everything in. Finally, let's talk about the hip belt. This is one of the better designed accessories in the Minimal ecosystem. It's very well built, it adds significant support when the bag is fully loaded, and it is removable with this Velcro strap, which means that it's great for those who don't like using hip belts. A standout feature is the ability to tuck the extra webbing into the small channels on the side of the belt, keeping everything neat and preventing that annoying dangle that you get with some of the other designs. I also appreciate the contour stitching on the wings and the soft, smooth material covering the belt. It feels really comfortable against your body, even during extended wear, and it's exactly what you'd expect from a bag this size. The only downside is it's not really easily removable. While you can take it off, the process requires a little bit more effort than I think that I would like, and the thicker design means that it's harder to pack away if you do want to carry it as a just-in-case item. This belt is better suited as an on or off accessory, so not something that you're going to be swapping back and forth constantly. If you need a stowable hip belt, you might want to look at other backpacks specifically designed with that feature. Now in our Should You Buy It roundup, here's how I'd rank these accessories. The hip belt is the only must buy in my opinion. If you are anti-hip belt, trust me, if you're going to be carrying this bag fully loaded, you're going to want it. You can easily hit the 30-pound mark, and without the hip belt, your shoulders are going to really pay the price. Remember, your hips can handle a lot more weight than your shoulders can, so save yourself all the discomfort down the road. The packing cubes are a maybe, especially if you don't already own a set. These are great if you plan on using this bag as your main travel pack, as they fit perfectly and make the most out of the space. However, if you already own packing cubes, these might not be a significant upgrade, especially since their dimensions may not fit well in slimmer travel bags. The tote and the dob kit are unfortunately a little bit harder to recommend. While the tote is packable and versatile, the lack of reinforced stitching makes it a little bit less durable than the other options on the market. And as far as the dob kit, its conflicting design features make it feel like it's trying to do a little too much and ultimately falling a little short. That's a lot to unpack, literally. Now let's move on to our pack out section to see how all those features and materials come together in real-world scenarios. Welcome back. We're here on location to show you guys what a 3 to 5 day office setup might look like if you're gonna use this bag for that purpose. Starting out, we're gonna pack out the tech compartment and then work our way towards the front of the bag. So this compartment lays fully clamshell, and we're gonna pack out the back compartment first with our laptop and our iPad. All right, and now we have our admin panel. So we're just gonna pack it out. We're gonna use all these pockets for all our different cords and stuff. We have a wireless keyboard. To go into the keyboard section, you can fit up to 100 key keyboard in here. That's what this strap is for. This is, I think, a 75 key keyboard. Our mouse. Thunderbolt cable. We have a little mini extension cord. GAN charger. USB-A brick, external battery, USB-C cable. Let's just rotate it here. It's getting a little heavy on this side. HDMI cable, a dock, USB-C to USB-A cable, another Thunderbolt cable. All right, and then I also have a laptop stand, and an external monitor. So there's actually extra room in between these two panels right here in the middle. So I'm gonna try to close this up halfway and then use the additional space in the middle for these two items. So you can see it gets kind of stuck here at the bottom just because it is an AquaGuard zipper, but also there's so much weight that it's actually starting to collapse the compartment a little bit. So you might run into this issue if you are gonna pack out this compartment with all this stuff like I am. All right. Now, you can put our external monitor here in the middle and our laptop stand. All right, cool. Now let's pack out the quick access compartment. There's a slip pocket here and then two mesh compartments and a key leash. So starting out with our key leash, I'm gonna put our keys on that. And then I have a Kindle and a notebook. What? I got a pen, put that in this slot as well. I have my AirPods, put that in the bottom mesh pocket. Then I have my wallet, mints, and some control film. I'll put that all in the top mesh pocket here. And then I also have my overhead headphones that I'll put in there as well. Zip that up. And last but not least, we have our main compartment. Now, as you can see, when you start filling out this front compartment and the back tech compartment, it's gonna start to eat up into the main compartment volume, as you can see here. And then this just kind of becomes a little bit floppy or flappy, whatever you wanna call it. So I have my Dob kit here. This is a sold separately accessory, but you can, use it however you want. And there's a little compartment here that you can put your Dob kit in. If you don't end up using it for the Dob kit, then you can just use it for your laundry or extra pair of shoes or something like that. We also have the packable tote that can go in one of the slip pockets here on the side. And then we have this compression pad. I'll just unlock that really quick. And then I have 5 days of clothes in these packing cubes. So this is 4 socks and 7 underwear. This is a couple extra shirts, a towel. And then this is like 5 shirts, 2 pants, 2 shorts in here. All right, let's zip it all up. And the last thing is gonna be our water bottle pocket. I have an 18-ounce water bottle right here. It's gonna be a pretty tight fit. It'll definitely fit, but might be a two-handed operation. All right, and there you have it, all fully loaded, fully packed out. I ended up weighing this and this was about 30 pounds, so it's definitely at the upper end of what you could possibly fill this bag with. Now let's check out Emerald in the field. She's gonna show us what it's gonna feel like once you wear this bag for about 20 minutes.
Hey, what's up guys? Emerald in the field here, reporting to you after 20 minutes of walking around the park with this fully loaded 30-pound bag on. I will say that it's starting to get a little uncomfortable. If you are planning on putting this bag under the gun with all this weight, I would recommend the hip belt. I don't really even know how you could possibly wear this bag without the hip belt if you plan on carrying 30 pounds of stuff. When I was opening and closing the bag though, the zippers are really not happy with me, so I would say that what I have loaded out here is kind of going to be at the upper end of what you could possibly carry with this bag. Maybe a little less if you're not trying to bust the seams open like I am. But yeah, let's get back to you in the studio.
And now the moment that you've all been waiting for, it's time to rate the M38 travel backpack using our analytical rubric. If you're not familiar with how this scoring system works, make sure to check out this video where we break down the methodology and explain the categories that we use. For this review, we'll also be baseline comparing the M38 against a few other popular one-bag travel options that have dedicated laptop storage and a varying degree of tech organization. All of the bags that we're using for comparison fall under the 35 to 40 liter range and are designed to fit as a carry-on item for a week or more of travel. Now, to be clear, this isn't meant to be a full-blown head-to-head comparison of all of the different brands out there, but instead we're using them as a reference point to see how the M38 stacks up against other contenders that you might be considering if you are in the market for a one-bag solution. The bags that we considered in our baseline comparison include the Air Travel Pack 3, the Tortuga Travel Backpack Pro 40, the Bellroy Transit Backpack Plus, the LTT Backpack, and the Patagonia Black Hole MLC 45. Each of these bags brings something different to the table, whether it's materials, tech storage, or overall design philosophy, so they'll make a very good benchmark to evaluate the M38's strengths and weaknesses. Now let's talk about how we're weighing the categories in this review. We're gonna put 35% on design. We're gonna put 40% on components, which is the heaviest weighted category because this directly impacts the durability and user experience. We're gonna put 10% on marketing, which is how well the bag is presented from product descriptions and advertising claims. And we put 15% on unique value proposition, which is where we assess whether the M38 does something innovative or stands out from the crowded market. All right, with all that out of the way, let's dive in and see how the M38 performs. Starting off with the design category, let's take a look at the aesthetics, where we gave the M38 a 4 out of 5. This bag has a very minimal matte black look to it, and it won't attract that much attention while you're traveling. Its very understated design avoids that techie, outdoorsy, or tactical vibe that some of the other travel bags in this category tend to lean into. For some of you, that might be exactly what you're looking for, a bag that's subtle and blends in without calling too much attention to itself. That said, I wouldn't go as far to say that this bag works well in a business setting. The sheer size and presence of this bag is a little hard to completely fly under the radar. If you're just popping into a coffee shop or co-working space to get some work done, the vibe of this bag should not be a deal breaker. For function, we scored the M38 a 4 out of 5. It covers all the essentials that you would expect out of a larger size travel bag, including a quick access pocket, side gram handle, and ample main compartment storage. One area where the M38 shines is its tech compartment, which has the most specific pocketing layout among all of the competitors in this category. We'll dive deeper into this in the laptop section, but it is worth mentioning here because it could be a make or break feature. When we compare it to its peers, 3 out of the 5 competitors in this class include hip belts with their bags. While the M38 does offer a hip belt as an optional accessory, which we would recommend that you buy it, it would have been really nice to see it included as a standard feature, given that the bag's size and overall target use case. For build quality, we scored the M38 a 3.75 out of 5. While the bag uses high quality materials throughout, there are a few detail-oriented issues that prevented it from scoring higher. Let's start with the interior lining and pocketing. Across the bag, the fabric feels a bit loose and lacking that snug, structured feel that you'd expect from a premium travel bag. This is especially noticeable in the back tech compartment. When we had this fully kitted out with all of the weight it's trying to hold, you can see all the fabric just starting to slump and snag slightly, which distracts from the overall impression of durability. This loose fabric issue isn't just limited to the main bag, but it's also present in all of the accessories. For example, take a look at the toiletry kit and compare it to a similar design from Air. The difference is pretty clear. The loose fabric on the M38 gives a slight frumpy appearance, which makes it feel very less polished, and here is the Air for comparison. It's a lot tighter. Because we see this same issue across multiple pieces, I don't believe that it's a factory defect. It seems to be an intentional design choice, but unfortunately it gives the bag and its accessories a cheap feel despite otherwise high quality materials. Another detail worth mentioning is some extra fabric hanging out here in the back panel of the M38. It looks like someone forgot to trim off this during production. While it's not a deal breaker, this small oversight did make it through quality control and it ended up on a final product that was sent to me. Little things like this can undermine an otherwise really strong build. For protection, we gave the M38 a 4 out of 5. This bag does a really great job in this category, particularly when it comes to tech protection. The laptop compartment is well padded and features a suspended laptop sleeve, which helps protect your device from hard drops. Additionally, the AquaGuard zippers on the tech compartment provide an extra layer of protection against rain or accidental spills, keeping your electronics safe from most normal conditions. That said, while the M38 offers solid everyday protection, it's not designed to handle any extreme scenarios like heavy storms or significant impacts. If you are looking for more storm-proof weather protection or rugged drop protection, you're going to need to opt for a bag that has a lot more structure and denser padding throughout, though that usually does come with the trade-off of added weight. When it comes to comfort, the M38 comes pretty close to perfect. We scored it a 4.25 out of 5 in this category. The bag features a very breathable back panel with adequate air channels running throughout the center of the bag, which helps reduce sweat buildup during longer carries. The shoulder straps are very beefy and wide, distributing the weight evenly across your shoulders, and the adjustable sternum strap paired with the strap keepers keep everything in place without dangling straps getting all in your way. Without the hip belt, I'd say that this bag is very passable in comfort for shorter stretches. For access points, we scored the M38 a 4 out of 5. Overall, the bag provides decent access to all the compartments once it's set down, but it does fall short on on-body quick access. If you're somebody who likes to grab items on the go without taking your bag off, this might not be the best option. The water bottle pocket is the only area where you can access while wearing the bag, but even that can be a little bit tricky. For larger water bottles that require two-handed operation, you'll likely need to set this bag down to get the bottle back in. Another limitation is the Dob kit pocket located on the inside flap of the main compartment. This is the only pocket that is not accessible from the top of the bag. While it's probably not a deal breaker for most, it does mean that if you need something from this pocket, you're gonna have to fully set the bag down and open the main compartment flap all the way. In summary, the M38 earns high marks for its stationary accessibility, but lacks on-body convenience that some users might prefer, especially for that quick access to essentials. Moving on to components, let's start off with the zippers, where we scored the M38 a 4.5 out of 5. This bag uses YKK number 10 reverse coil zippers throughout, which are really known for being durable and easy to operate. These zippers are smooth to use, and thanks to the pull leashes, you can easily zip through corners with just one finger, which is a great feature for quick and hassle-free access. The tech compartment did present a little bit of a challenge when it was fully loaded. Since the bag lacks any rigid structure, the bottom tends to bend under the weight of contents, which makes zipping this section up a little bit tricky. It is something to keep in mind if you do plan to pack the crap out of this tech compartment to its full capacity. For the harness system, we scored the M38 a 4 out of 5. It's honestly one of the most comfortable harness systems that we've tested. Wide, padded shoulder straps, and thoughtful features that make carrying this bag a very pleasant experience, even for extended periods of time. While the hip belt is available as a separate purchase, we feel like it should have been standard at this price point. But beyond that, there are a few features that could elevate this harness system to be one of the best in its category. Load lifters to help shift the weight a little bit closer to your body for better balance. Back panel adjustment for customizing the fit to different torso lengths. Stowable shoulder straps for easier transport when this bag isn't being worn. There are 2 hand-sized pockets located behind the back panel, it probably would be a game changer if they were extended into full-length channels so that they could accommodate tucking away the shoulder straps. If you're looking for a fully adjustable harness system that checks most of these boxes, minus stowable straps, the Tortuga Pro 40 liter is going to be your best option in this category. It's worth noting as a point of comparison if you do prioritize a more advanced harness system. For the back panel, we scored the M38 a 4.5 out of 5. It's one of the most comfortable and breathable back panels that we have tested. The mesh material feels very soft to the touch, and it isn't really that rough in comparison to some other meshes we've tested, so you won't have any issues wearing this bag with a tank top or lighter clothing. It's going to be designed with that comfort in mind. As for aesthetic, the bright yellow color might not appeal to everyone, but personally, I am actually a fan of it. It's a really nice pop of color and makes the bag feel a bit more modern and unique. But of course, color preference is subjective, so your mileage may vary. One potential drawback of open air mesh like this is that it sacrifices some durability for the sake of breathability. If you're planning on using this bag for any type of rugged environment like hiking off trail or bushwhacking, the mesh is not going to hold up really well over time. For urban travel, whether you're taking this to the coffee shop or a co-working space or for tech offices, it's perfectly suited for that kind of use. Moving on to the main compartment, we scored the M38 a 3 out of 5. While it has pretty decent capacity, there are a few design issues that hold it back in this category. In terms of depth, you're gonna get about 3 to 4 inches just depending on how you pack out the tech compartment. This variability ties into one of the bag's biggest shortcomings, which is the lack of structure. This issue becomes a lot more noticeable when you're using the front quick access pocket and the bottom internal zippered pocket, which both have independent volume from the main compartment. While this is really great for organizing and adding additional storage, it also makes the front flap really heavy. And when you open the bag fully, the fabric starts to snag under all of that weight, creating a really frumpy appearance in the main compartment. The side zippered compartments are handy for storing smaller items, but do keep in mind that they do share space with the water bottle pocket. So depending on what's packed in both areas, accessing the side zippers can become a little bit more challenging. Now let's talk about this compression pad. While I get the intent behind it, it ultimately feels a little ineffective. For it to work as a proper compression pad, it would need to be at least twice the size with cinch straps like a buckle or Velcro instead of the elastic bands that are currently being used. As it stands, I ended up not really using the pad at all because, quite frankly, it didn't provide any noticeable compression or utility. My biggest concern with the main compartment is the back panel. Since this shares an interior wall with the tech compartment, anything that you pack in the tech section will start to protrude into the main compartment, leaving you with a very uneven surface. Overall, while the M38's main compartment offers some nice storage options and independent volume for organization, the lack of structure and design limitations hold it back from being as functional and user-friendly as it could be. For the quick access pocket, we scored the M38 a 3 out of 5. While the bag does have a quick access pocket located in the front, it's not truly an on-body quick access pocket. You'll need to set the bag down to get into it, which limits the functionality compared to other bags in this category. That said, the pocket is very spacious and offers some nice organizational features. Inside, you'll find a padded sleeve, a key leash, an AirTag pocket, and 2 mesh slip pockets. It's large enough to hold most of your essentials like a wallet, phone, or a charger, or even a lightweight jacket for easy grab-and-go convenience. If the zipper were positioned horizontally instead, this would allow for a little bit better on-body access and makes this feature far more versatile. Additionally, while the organization in the pocket is decent, the pocket's depth can make it a little easier to lose smaller items, so adding a zippered pocket or any type of additional compartments within this space could improve gear organization and help prevent items from getting buried at the bottom. Moving on to the laptop compartment, we scored the M38 a 4 out of 5. This compartment is very well protected with the laptop and tablet sleeve located on the back panel that provides excellent drop protection on all sides. If you're carrying a lot of tech, you can rest assured that it's going to stay really safe. On the opposite side of the compartment, you're going to find a tech admin panel packed with a bunch of dedicated pockets for cables and chargers and keyboards and all of your other peripherals. It's going to be super great for setting up your mobile office. This style of organization is ideal if you plan on strictly using this bag as your primary carry and don't need to transfer your gear frequently in between other bags. However, one of the downsides of this layout is that it locks you into a predetermined pocket sizes. So if your gear doesn't fit neatly into these pockets, you may find yourself limited on how you can configure your setup. This makes the compartment less versatile compared to more open layouts, Another area of improvement is the clamshell opening. While it does provide very full access to the compartment, it can be very awkward for packing larger items. For example, I typically carry an additional monitor and a laptop stand, and while the compartment has enough capacity to actually accommodate those items, packing them requires unzipping the clamshell halfway and sliding them in carefully. If this compartment were designed with an accordion style opening with side gussets, I think that it would make the space easier to utilize, preventing those loose items from shifting around and improving accessibility. Returning to the loose material issue that we discussed under build quality, you'll notice it here as well. When the admin panel is fully packed with heavier items like chunky bricks and cables, this material starts to buckle under that weight, particularly near the bottom of the panel where the internal boards and padding can't fully support the load. Similarly, the laptop compartment shows some noticeable bending at the bottom when it's fully loaded. While it hasn't caused any functional issues during testing, it is a very clear sign that additional structure or reinforcement could improve durability and maintain the compartment's shape under heavier loads. To its credit, the M38 has one of the most robust laptop and tech compartments in its class, so if you do need a bag that has plenty of dedicated storage for tech and peripherals, it's gonna deliver. For the water bottle pocket, we scored the M38 a 4.5 out of 5. It's really great to see that the bag includes one, and it's even better that it's stitched directly onto the sides of the bag, which adds to long-term durability. Unlike some external water bottle pocket holders that feel like an afterthought, this one is really built to last and stays securely in place. The pocket is versatile and can accommodate most water bottles, but it's really best suited for long and skinny bottles. If you're carrying something bulkier like a 1 liter Nalgene, you might struggle to get it inside of this pocket quickly due to the snug fit. One great feature of this pocket is that it can also double as a tripod holder, so if you bring your own compression strap, you should be able to secure it. For the handle, we scored the M38 a 3.5 out of 5. This bag features 3 handles, a magnetic top handle, a side grab handle, and a luggage pass-through. All of the handles feel very sturdy thanks to its reinforced stitching, and they do their job very well. The top magnetic handle is particularly nice as it stays out of the way when not in use, and it gives the bag a very clean, streamlined appearance. However, the side handle and the luggage pass-through handle feel a little frumpy. This is primarily due to the bag's lack of structural support, which causes the sides to kind of collapse in on themselves when the bag is fully loaded. While I haven't experienced any issues with the bag failing, the lack of structure can make carrying this bag in duffel mode or in briefcase mode a little bit less comfortable or reliable. Adding a metal stay or some form of internal reinforcement would provide a little bit of extra stability and peace of mind, especially for heavier loads. Moving on to our marketing section, let's start off with the company itself, where we scored Minimal a 1.5 out of 5. The only information that we have about the brand is that it's a new company based in Sydney, Australia. Beyond that, there is very little publicly available about their background, mission, or design philosophy, other than that they want to make gear that inspires a less is more for all of your carry essentials, focusing on minimally aesthetically pleasing and highly functional gear. When we reached out to the founder for additional comments, they declined to elaborate, leaving us with limited insight into the company's vision or goals. This lack of transparency is a little disappointing, especially for a new brand entering a very competitive space like travel bags. Building trust with customers often requires sharing a little bit more about why you designed the bags or your products and what sets you apart from your competitors. While their products show promise, we hope that Minimal takes steps to improve communication and brand storytelling in the future. For the product page, we scored the M38 a 4 out of 5. This page does a really great job at showcasing the bag with extensive amount of video content, high quality product photos, and use case scenarios that give potential buyers a very clear idea of what the bag offers. Plus, the inclusion of first look reviews by other YouTubers adds an extra layer of credibility, giving shoppers additional perspectives on the bag's performance. One area of improvement would be the addition of customer reviews once the bag is more widely available. These reviews could help provide valuable insight into real-world users and make the product page feel a little bit more complete. For returns and warranties, we scored Minimal a 4.5 out of 5. Minimal offers a 30-day return window, which is fairly standard for this carry space. Hey, Editing Emerald here. So I originally scored the returns and warranties a 4.5 because I thought that it was 30 days with free return labels, but it's actually only 14 days with return labels. So because of this, I'm scoring the returns a 3.5. It's great that you don't have to pay for the return label since you're gonna be sending it back in the box that it came in, but having a shorter window than the already short 30-day average is why I'm docking points. Because of this, the final score is gonna be a little bit different than the initial number, and I'll make sure to have the correct score on screen. Okay, back to the review. As expected, they do require that the bag is returned in new condition with tags intact. And what sets them apart though is that they also offer to pay for the return shipping label. This is a huge plus, especially in a market where return shipping costs are often passed on to the customer. Given the premium price point of these bags, this policy seems very fair, but it also is not very typical in the carry world. So it's great to see Minimal stepping up on that one. On the warranty side of things, they offer a lifetime warranty that covers manufacturing defects under normal use conditions for the original owner. This is a solid offering, but as with any warranty, it's worth taking the time to read through their policies on their website, as terms can sometimes change. Ultimately, the inclusion of free return shipping labels is a very standout benefit that adds real value, especially for buyers who may be hesitant about purchasing a bag without seeing it in person first. Combine that with the lifetime warranty, Minimal delivers a strong offering in this category, which is why we gave them such a high score. Under advertising, we scored the M38 a 4.5 out of 5. Minimal has done an excellent job with their pre-release marketing push, which includes very significant numbers of early reviews. The advertising also does a really good job at highlighting the bag's intended use case of one-bag travel solutions for trips lasting 3 to 5 days. If you are a minimalist packer, you could probably even stretch that further to 7 or more days, which makes it a really versatile option for a variety of travelers. Minimal's current strategy feels very well executed and focused, which is why we gave them such a high score in this category. For volume, we scored the M35 a 5 out of 5. One of the standout features of this bag is that its listed volume is actually accurate, which isn't always the case in bags in this category. It's refreshing to see that what you're promised in terms of capacity is actually what you get. What's even better is that Minimal has gone the extra mile to break down the volume by compartment on their website. This level of transparency is really rare and incredibly helpful for buyers who want to understand how the bag is organized and whether it suits their packing style. Moving on to unique value proposition, let's start out with features where we scored the M38 a 4.25 out of 5. The M38 includes most of the features that you would expect from a one-bag travel option in this size and class, with a slight edge towards digital nomads. For its target audience, it offers a strong feature set and a clear value proposition. For uniqueness, we scored the M38 a 4.5 out of 5. In addition to a tech-focused design, the magnetic top handle adds a touch of convenience and sleekness that is very uncommon in travel bags. It keeps the handle neatly out of the way when not in use, maintaining the bag's clean and streamlined look. The golden interior colorway is another really unique touch. It's bold, distinctive, and functions as a really bright color that makes it easier to find and locate your items inside the bag. While this might not appeal to everyone, it definitely does help the M38 stand out in a crowded marketplace of muted and monochromatic interiors. For bang for buck, we scored the M38 a 2.5 out of 5. At a base price of $339, the M38 is firmly on the higher end of the price spectrum compared to the other bags in its class. The price to value ratio feels a little bit harder to justify, especially when considering the cost of accessories. If you do want to go all in on the Minimal travel ecosystem, you're really looking at a total retail price of over $500, which is a really tough pill to swallow for most travelers. For this price point, you'd expect more accessories to be included, particularly essentials like the hip belt. Without those, the bag's value becomes a little bit harder to defend, especially when compared to competitors offering similar features at lower price points. Finally, for flavor, we scored the M38 a 3.75 out of 5. The interior golden colorway and subtle accent colors are the primary defining characteristics in terms of branding, and they do add a unique touch that helps the bag stand out. These bold choices give the M38 a bit more personality compared to the more muted designs of its competitors. However, we did have to dock some points for the loose material issues found throughout the bag and its accessory line. When we talk about flavor, we're also talking about attention to detail, and the frumpy fabric undermines the otherwise thoughtful design. While it doesn't impact functionality significantly, it does affect the overall impression of quality and refinement. With some improvements to the material finishes and details, it could deliver a more cohesive and polished experience. So after adding up all our totals and normalizing our score, the M38 comes out at a 78.2, which is a C+. Now I want to make it clear that scoring in the C range is not a bad thing. You should never really expect an A grade on any bag that we test unless it's truly game-changing, class-leading, or near perfect. A score like this means that the bag meets expectations, and in this case, it even scores slightly above average. The high points of this bag include the comfort and harness system, better than average return policy, and a combination of features tailored for digital nomads, specifically the tech compartment. That said, there are a few areas of improvement that could add value and significantly increase usability in future iterations. At this price point, the hip belt should be included rather than being sold separately. The internal fabrics throughout the bag could be a little bit tighter to avoid the loose, frumpy feel that detracts from the overall quality. Adding more zippered compartments and slightly less organization in the tech compartment would strike a little bit of a better balance for a wider range of users. Providing additional support in areas like the false bottom of the tech compartment would prevent bending under heavy loads and make the bag a little bit more durable. Adding structure around the rim of the main compartment would make loading much easier, especially for those who prefer bucket-style packing. While the harness system is already really comfortable, introducing a height adjustment option and creating a way to stow the straps, perhaps making the hidden pockets a little bit deeper, would elevate its versatility even further. Alright, so who do I think this bag is for? Most of the time, I'd say that there are a few different groups of people who might enjoy this bag, but for the M38, it's so specific in its design and functionality that if you are not this person, it probably isn't going to be the right fit for you. This bag is ideal for the digital nomad, remote work professional, one-bag traveler. Maybe you've got a travel visa to work remotely in a foreign country, and you need a bag that can carry both your work essentials and enough clothes for your trip. You're one-bagging it to keep travel costs down, and you want the convenience of having all of your gear on you. This isn't the kind of bag that you take into client meetings. Instead, it's for the behind-the-scenes worker bee, the person hopping onto Zoom calls with their boss and getting deliverables done from wherever they are. The M38 is an excellent choice for people who travel with mobile office setups. Its robust tech compartment with dedicated pockets for laptops and tablets and keyboards and cables and chargers is thoughtfully designed for those who need to organize and protect a lot of tech gear. So who do I think this bag isn't for? Even if you are a digital nomad, this bag might not work for you. If you prefer less built-in pocket configurations, or you prefer to use your own pouches and modular organization, the M38's tech compartment is very highly structured. So if you like flexibility and customization in how you organize your gear, this style of packing just probably isn't going to be the right fit for you. If you don't travel with much tech, or at least not enough to need a full admin panel, you'll likely be better off with just a bag that offers a simpler tech compartment. Many competitors in this category offer streamlined setups that give you just enough organization without overcommitting to a tech-first design that the M38 provides. And finally, if you're budget conscious, this bag is definitely on the upper end of the price spectrum compared to other options in its class. So in conclusion, the M38 is a bag that knows exactly who it's designed for, but it's not trying to be all the things to all the people, and that's both its strength and its limitation. For digital nomads or remote working professionals who travel with a mobile office setup and value detailed organization for their tech gear, this bag offers a lot to love. Its robust tech compartment, comfortable harness system, and unique design touches like the magnetic handle and golden interior make it a standout option for those specific use cases. If you're someone who prefers less rigid organization, doesn't travel with much tech, or is a very budget conscious person, this might not be the best fit for you. If you think that the M38 fits your lifestyle, it's definitely worth a closer look. But if you're on the fence, there are plenty of other options out there to explore. All right, I'm done. If you like this content and you are considering purchasing this bag, there is a link in the video description that will take you right to the product page. We don't get any commission off of that link, just so you know. But if you do want to help support the channel so that we can keep making quality reviews like this one that can take over a month to produce, research, test, and edit this video, there are Amazon affiliate links in the description to all the products that we talked about today. I get a small commission off of each purchase at no cost to you, but if that's not your vibe, there's always liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with a friend. It really helps the channel give good vibes out to the YouTube algorithm so that more people can see this video. Drop me a comment down below telling me what you think about the M38 and if this video was helpful to you in your buying journey. My name is Emerald from Emerald's Daily Carry. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.